Okay, hello everyone. It's really lovely to be here with you today. My name is Līna Sarma, and I'm a part of the Riga TechGirls. I'm a co-creator here and also a board member. And today I will be here with you at the opening event of our already third Women in Tech Hackathon 2022. And it's really, really lovely that we get to organize this on a yearly basis already. And this year, gathering fairly many teams in Slack, and we can see them in meanwhile while we're doing this online opening ceremony. We can see the teams forming. We can see you pitching your ideas, pitching yourselves and your backgrounds and your skill. And it's really wonderful to see that all of that happening in action. And we cannot wait for you to have a really wonderful, lovely and supportive weekend this week. Okay, so I wanted to share a couple of things before we start, especially for those of you who are here at this event and maybe don't know about us as Riga Tech Girls and who we are. I wanted to share with you a couple of things that we do. And a couple of reasons why we're here and why have we been doing this with Riga Tech Girls. So I'll just share with you my presentation, a couple of intro words from me and from the lovely Riga Tech Girls. Obviously, as you will see in my presentation, it's not a one-person team. It's actually a really, really big team of lovely ladies and gentlemen who help all of this happen and take place. So just to reiterate, we are Riga Tech Girls organizing this event already this year for the third time in a row. The reason why we're doing all of this is that we want to empower women and girls to be the architects of the future. We want you to also feel that this is and technology is a place for you. We are the only community in Latvia aimed at educating and inspiring women and girls about all the things digital. So we don't only do workshops on programming, we do quite a lot of various things such as networking events and meetups that aim to inspire you to learn and be encouraged to learn new digital skills. The reason behind of doing this is that based on the Ministry of Economics data, until 2025, there will be at least 20,000 IT talents missing in Latvia. But based on this, only 22%, only from those 22% who are the IT professionals are women. And in Latvia, it's 26%, 6% of those are in the EU. And our goal in here is to encourage women, but also to provide, to feel like these opportunities to become an IT specialist or be in this workforce as an ICT specialist are equal opportunities. So all of you have them, and you can all get access to the education and the support and the empowerment that you need in order to be a part of this ICT field that we're trying to support. And most importantly, we want to help turn you from IT consumers into creators. And this is also one of the reasons why such hackathons are taking place, that you get a chance to think about the problems and think about building these solutions and being a part of creating these solutions and these products that are out there in the world. Because we all know that more diverse teams also create better products that are more informed about the needs of not only a specific side of our society, but as a whole and as a larger field. And as mentioned previously, it's not obviously only me. We are a very, very large team of us doing events, creating meetups and workshops, doing larger events in order to teach about and educate about different digital skills. We do networking events, and we work with teachers and try to also include some language workshops. And there's so many things that we do with this lovely big team, and only a couple of us are here. So just to say a couple of words, Thank you to the team as well, who have been working hard in order to make this event happen. And the team will be the people who you, as participants and as mentors and as partners, will meet throughout this hackathon. Will be there with you in Slack, will be there with you in workshops, and will be there with you in the checkpoints, just to make sure that you're okay, and just to communicate everything with you and make sure that all of your experience in this hackathon is the best as we can do, and that you do feel safe, and that you do feel supported, and you feel like you can get as much information and as much of the necessary skills out of this. Also, as Riga TechGirls, we've been around for quite a while, and since 2015, this is just a couple of numbers from us. We've organized over 100 workshops, 36 meetups. The number count is, I think, getting higher and higher, and we need to update these every month. Different kinds of other events and programs. For the last 3 years, we've been running larger programs, such as Discover Tech and mentorship programs. And a part of that, we also have a really, really big follower base of people and women to whom we try to share all of these resources and share all of these opportunities that we work with, but also our partners and the partners who are here have the opportunities or job opportunities or anything else. We do share them with you, and we have a fairly large follower base to whom we need to thank you, participants, because you are a part of it, and you're here because you're a part of these people that we have managed to reach and managed to help out. About the hackathon, so this year we are focusing on a theme, women, peace, and security, and inviting you to think about ideas that are themed towards peace and security solutions, and try to kind of research and find different themes and different problems that are out there. And we thought that this theme really goes also with all of the things that we've seen around, and the need for people to think about, the need for people to find these solutions that are out there, and help and create products that could help. So this is our third yearly Women in Tech Hackathon, already rolling. Hope to see many more in the years to come. We've already gathered here in Slack more than 100 participants, and let's see how many will form the final teams and how many will be there. There are 10 teams that we can see already registered and counting. Just a reminder, at 7 o'clock, the team formation finishes. So just hold on and try as hard as you can. If you haven't found a team, really try and find the ideas and the teams, or still you have time to suggest your own ideas to get it working. And we have 4 tracks and themes that are ready this year. Those ones you can find obviously in our website and get more information in there about the themes that we have suggested this year that you can think about when you're thinking about what ideas to come up with and what products to build. Nevertheless, this is something that we're pressuring on. Our theme and this our overlying theme and the tracks, they're kind of suggestions for you to start thinking about ideas and start thinking about the products that you would want to work in, that you feel like you're very, very passionate about. But they're not obligatory, and none of these tracks or themes are there to kind of constrain you in your thought. You're more than welcome to come up with your ideas that are absolutely out of scope, and you're more than welcome to think about ideas that are out there and not including in this. So this is a couple of introductory words from me about Riga TechGirls and about the lovely team and about us, for those of you who are here and hearing this from us the first time. And afterwards, I just now wanted to give a couple of words to our partners, and also we've invited 2 lovely, lovely ladies after our partners to say a couple of words about this year's theme. In the end of this presentation, I will also share a couple of practical details for all the participants to just get the key information. So in case you want to know more about and where to, or maybe you have any questions, or you want to know more about the main links or the main information that you need to know as a participant, then in the last 10 minutes, I'll go over that to just remain for you participants. Okay, so Now I just wanted to start off with inviting to the stage our partner from Accenture, Marija Stakena. Marija, I'm inviting you to say a couple of words from you as partners, and yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm happy to be with you this afternoon, and I'm happy to speak on behalf of the company I represent, Accenture. Accenture is one of the biggest IT companies on the market with more than 500,000 people employed. And to be honest with you, I have been in the IT industry for 25 years, and that was always the question for me. So why there are so many gentlemen, and so let's say so rarely I see my fellow ladies in the customer side in IT companies. And this question, I would say, I have answered myself by just thinking, okay, IT industry is relatively young. Microsoft has been established in 1975 as a company, so it's only 50 years, let's say, old industry. And most probably, as always, all the pioneering, all the innovation and pushing hard some new things is done by the men, and it's natural. Yeah. But what I clearly see right now, then the industry, IT industry, is stabilized, and probably it's the right time for ladies to take care of and making it, as always we do, flourishing, and even I would say like maybe more stable and more supportive, more secure, and in many, let's say, areas of IT industry, I see that ladies are becoming more and more successful. So it's not only developers, it might be also project managers, it might be also sales consultants, helping customers to choose the right IT solutions. And what else we see, even being like also a consumers of IT products, and the digitalization is everywhere right now. We clearly see that probably the dominance of males is also represented in some of the functionality and some of the solutions that we are also consuming. So I would say that the idea itself and also Accenture support for such hackathons and inviting ladies and taking care about really like this gender balance is quite natural thing, which we all must, I would say, like address very carefully and not being afraid. Yeah, that's the natural development of IT industry. This is something which we all need, being like IT product consumers. Yeah, and I really believe that maybe some kind of like an image of IT or developers, which is now associated more with, I would say, more with the males, or some kind of like a yeah, this association is not anymore, let's say, in place. Yeah, so we are trying and supporting Accenture as a company, and me myself, of course, trying and supporting different type of events where you can really get in detail. So what IT industry is all about, how many different type, let's say, of roles there are. And I hope that you will be strong, you will be confident, and this event will help you to find your own, let's say, place, and broaden your understanding of the IT industry. And you will, of course, you will be very confident then on defining and deciding on the next steps, if you will decide that IT is something which is interesting for you and for your future. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you so much, Mari. Thank you for supporting us, and thank you for being here. Okay, and without further ado, I wanted to invite to the stage our partner, our representative from Turing College, Monika Simaskaite, who's also going to say a couple of words from them and all the support that they've done. They also have a mentor at the hackathon who's going to help out with the teams. So teams, be prepared to meet Anton as well, who will help with all the data. Monika, the floor is yours, and the video as well afterwards.
Thank you, Lena, and welcome and hello, participants of Riga TechGirls Hackathon. So it's a very important issue for today's, in the light of the recent events, especially women, peace, and security. We see a lot of issues here, but I wanted to talk about the solutions, not about the issues we have. For example, me as Turing College representative, Turing College is a data science online school, and we Y Combinator company. So Y Combinator is a business accelerator based in Silicon Valley. And one of the two key messages that we always get from our mentors from Silicon Valley, they mentioned that you have to always ask your customers what they want and what they need. So one of the most important lessons, lesson number one. And the second one, build your relationships with your team members, because the team can exceed all your expectations and build the best solutions. So this is a short message from me, and I have a bit longer message from my colleague and CEO of Turing College, Lukas Kaminskis.
Hey Lucas, please could you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Lukas Kaminskis, a co-founder and CEO of Turing College.
Can you briefly introduce Turing College?
We are an online school that specializes in getting our students hired in data science, data analytics, and web development. We use an alternative approach to learning with no lectures and complete flexibility about when you study. It is self-paced and remote. Instead, everything is project-based, and all our projects are designed together with real tech companies, so they teach exactly the skills tech companies need.
Lucas, what makes you different from self-taught online courses?
Unlike self-taught courses, there is a real strong element of community support. You get one-on-one consultations, mentoring from senior developers, and a whole community of students and mentors that you connect with. Plus, we run events, both online and in person, so you can get to know your fellow students. Finally, we have an extensive network of hiring partners who co-create our curriculum. They also hire our students. So far, all of our graduates have got hired in 3 months. We are really proud of this record.
Okay, so this is a hackathon where Turing College will have a dedicated data track. Tell us more about how Turing College uses data in its educational approach.
Data is essential to how our platform works. We track each student's progress and collect data while they are studying. Forget tests, there is a better solution. We provide feedback from instructors and other students to benchmark yourself. We even track soft skills like communication and teamwork, which really matter to our hiring partners. And we support students to get hired because we have clear data on exactly what their strengths are. So they can go to a company and say, I have competencies in these areas, and here is the data to prove it.
Why do you think the world needs more data-driven education solutions?
I see education as the most crucial and constructive block of our society. And yet, we are dedicating only a fraction of our resources and innovation to improving the way we learn. In education, a lot of decisions by teachers are based on gut feeling. Bringing a more data-driven approach to teaching and learning could have a significant impact on the talent output in every country. By starting with data, you can automatically have to test your assumptions. Finally, Data-driven solutions are measurable and adjustable. You can monitor how your solution is working and make changes to improve it.
Why did you decide to get involved in this hackathon?
We believe in power of hackathons. In fact, I started my IT career specifically at hackathons. My first edtech startup prototypes were born there. So I have experienced firsthand that hackathons are events where you get a lot of creativity and fresh ideas.
Turing College will be making one big contribution to this hackathon. Tell us more about it.
Well, we will be providing mentors at the event, but we also have a specialized prize to offer. We will be giving one participant of the hackathon a full Turing College scholarship. This scholarship will cover tuition fees for an entire course, which is almost 5,000 euros. This is a great opportunity for anyone who wants to join Turing College and learn data science or data analytics.
Okay, thank you, Monika. Thank you, Lucas, for the lovely interview. And as we move on, we actually have two really lovely speakers invited today. The first one I will invite also to the stage, and I'm really sorry if I'm going to butcher your name, Natasha Lamoreux, who's the coordination specialist for the Women, Peace and Security and Humanitarian Action Team at UN Women, where she also coordinates a global community of practice for colleagues working on peace and security and humanitarian crisis to share knowledge, exchange learning, and brainstorm innovative solutions to problems. Natasha, hello.
Hi, thank you so much, Līna. Thank you, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with all of you today for the kickoff of the Riga TechGirls Hackathon with this focus on women, peace, and security. So thank you to Riga TechGirls and to all of the partners for making this event a reality. It truly is my honor to join you today, and I understand that we're joined by participants from 16 countries. So I welcome you all, and I wish you all the best of luck. As mentioned, I'm Natasha Lamoreux. I'm with UN Women's section on Women, Peace, Security, and Humanitarian Action, where I coordinate a global community of practice, bringing together hundreds of colleagues working around the world on conflict and crisis situations to share experiences and ideas, exchange knowledge and lessons learned, and collaborate to find innovative solutions to persistent challenges that we face in preventing conflict and ensuring women's full and meaningful participation in mediation and peace processes and rebuilding their communities after conflict ceases. I'll also mention at some point I may be joined by some kittens who are in the room with me, so I hope you don't find them too distracting. I'm really excited about this hackathon for so many reasons. The theme for this hackathon, Women, Peace, and Security, puts you all at a vital intersection, addressing the lack of women in technology and the lack of women able to participate in the decisions that impact their lives in conflict and crises. As you may or may not know, the Women, Peace, and Security agenda started at the UN in 2000 with the passage of the groundbreaking Security Council Resolution 1325, which acknowledged that women and girls suffer disproportionately in conflicts and crises and are vital to preventing conflict and building and sustaining peace. 22 years and 9 more resolutions later, we still have so much further to go. I want to share with you today a few statistics that you may know, but that may also help you as you work together in teams to identify some of the stickiest problems facing the WPS Women, Peace, and Security agenda and collaborate together on innovative, creative, technology-based solutions to them. So we know that women's participation in peace processes leads to longer lasting, more durable, and sustainable peace. For example, women's participation increases the probability of a peace agreement lasting at least 2 years by 20%. and by 35% the probability of a peace agreement lasting 15 years. Research analyzing 40 peace processes since the end of the Cold War shows that in cases where women were able to exercise strong influence on the negotiation process, there was a much higher chance that an agreement would be reached than when women's groups exercised weak or no influence at all. In fact, in cases of strong influence of women, an agreement was almost always reached. Yet those organizing peace processes remain resistant to including women in peace negotiations, often claiming that there are not enough qualified women. But no one is asking, where are the qualified men? And history is littered with examples of failed mediation attempts and broken peace agreements. In conflicts and crises, women and girls remain hugely at risk for conflict-related sexual and gender-based violence, as do members of the LGBTQI+ community. The United Nations reported that 2,500 verified cases of conflict-related sexual violence, mostly against women and girls, across 18 countries in 2020 alone. Also in 2020, the Office of the High Commissioner on Human Rights verified 35 cases of killings of women human rights defenders, women journalists, and trade unionists in 7 conflict countries with data, surpassing the reported numbers for 2019 and 2018. Members of the LGBTQI+ community are also at heightened risk. And these statistics reflect only those countries where data is available. We know the figures are much higher, and time again, a lack of quality, gender disaggregated data prevents us from seeing the full scope of human rights violations. But the most important effect of women's engagement in peace processes is not just greater attention to gender-related elements in these negotiations and texts, but a shift in dynamics and a broadening of the issues discussed, increasing the chances of community buy-in and addressing root causes of conflict, and greater pressure on the parties to reach an agreement or go back to the negotiating table when the talks have faltered. The same is true for women in technology. We know, as one of my earlier speakers mentioned, that diversity and inclusivity creates different perspectives, experiences, and backgrounds, brings together, makes for much better and more collaborative, creative problem solving and innovation. Women represent at least half of the global population, yet they reinvest 90% of their income into their families and communities, but earn just 10% of the world's income. Studies have shown that advancing women's equality can add between $12 and $28 trillion to the global economic growth. We know that companies with 3 or more women in senior management positions score higher in all dimensions of organizational effectiveness. Yet just 4% of Fortune 500 companies are led by women. Women do not fare much better when it comes to tech startups. Recent analysis from First Round Capital, looking at 300 portfolio companies over 10 years, showed that startup teams with at least one female founder performed 63% better than all male teams. Yet only around 4% of women are backed by venture capital funding. It's not just about access and opportunity either. Any industry that is male-dominated will certainly omit or exclude perspectives, experiences, and ideas from women. When it comes to technology development and things like artificial intelligence, this will at best result in gender-blind and at worst, gender-biased tools and technologies that may exacerbate and entrench existing inequalities as we move into the future. UN Women also believes in the power of the hackathon to help us work together in communities to use technology to empower women and girls and find solutions to persistent, sticky challenges. Whether it is to combat sexual harassment in the Philippines, fighting violence against women in Egypt and Bosnia-Herzegovina, identifying new tools and technologies to empower women in humanitarian crises in Oslo, or supporting women with HIV in Tajikistan. UN Women is looking to partner with young women and men to help find technology-based solutions to realize gender equality and women's empowerment. In 2019, UN Women's country office in Afghanistan led the country's first ever hackathon on women, peace, and security. Partnering with Code for Peace, the event included 12 teams made up of 75 participants, 90% of whom were women, from 27 provinces. The two teams tied to win the top prize, with their solutions focusing on building a national platform to collect women's opinions and priorities for peace. The solutions were unique in their ability to widely gather women's voices from all 34 provinces, while increasing the depth of engagement by supporting the participation of women who are illiterate and women who do not have access to technology. The second and third prizes were awarded to solutions that support women artists create visual representations depicting the changing landscape in the country, and a platform that increases the participation of mothers in Afghanistan by using stories for children. And building on the success of this revolutionary hackathon in Afghanistan, UN Women developed the Peace Fem app, which brings together available data on women and peacemaking in one easy-to-use app in English and Arabic currently. The app contains strategies that have been employed to influence peace processes and is intended to give mediation teams, women's rights activists, parties to negotiations, and others a better understanding of women's participation and gender language in peace agreements. In conflicts and crises all over the world, we see women and girls, young women and young men like you here today, who don't wait to be asked to contribute or participate. They don't wait to be given a seat at the peace table or to be invited to join successful technology companies. They make these opportunities themselves. They claim their space. They make their voices heard and their vital contributions acknowledged. I think the world is finally starting to sit up and pay attention to you. You heard it said more and more, the future is female. And I'm here to tell you the future is now. Take advantage of this amazing opportunity to be bold, be creative, make connections with diverse individuals who you might not otherwise have the opportunity to meet, and build on that creative energy to create great new solutions. Thank you all. I wish you all the best of luck, and I cannot wait to learn about what you come up with over the next few days. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Natasha. That was really, really strong and inspiring. I've had the mentor also message me that it was really, really good. So thank you so much for the really wonderfully inspiring words from you. Thank you, Natasha. And for also taking the time to be here, knowing how busy these schedules are. Okay, and now I wanted to invite Ilze Dzenovska to the stage to also say a couple of words on peace and talk about her experience and her opinions on the topic. Ilze, hello, and thank you for being here.
Hello, everyone. Yes, so thank you for sharing this space and creating this space and inviting me. I am an example of a woman who decided almost 20 years ago to claim a seat at the table in changing structural violence in Latvia and in establishing support for victims of crime, and in claiming a seat at the table in negotiating and mediating conflicts. I've been an active peace builder and mediator since 2008. I'd like to look a bit conceptually and also practically at this, these three words, or the theme of this hackathon: women, peace, and security, and look from the needs perspective mean, the floor has been beautifully prepared, and the map of the women's challenges in violent conflicts and in the peace building and sustaining peace all over the world has been really beautifully laid out by the previous speaker, Natasha. And so I'd like just to add some accents that I find important for myself, and I hope they would serve the teams. I'd like you to think of the peace as an action, as a process. And yes, we can look at 3 steps or 3 levels where women play a significant role, and they could play even better or more substantial role if we could secure and we would continuously put our efforts into renegotiating sharing of the power in the world or in a particular community or country or organization. And I would like us also to keep in mind that probably not all of the teams will be working particularly on women in violent conflict settings. And still, there is a lot of similarity, and you can draw from and you can make between looking at women in global peace efforts or processes, and then looking at the role women play in maintaining peace and securing peace in relatively peaceful countries, and like, for example, Latvia. So 3 roles: women as peacemakers, women as peace builders, and women as peacekeepers. Women making peace when they are in their communities, or they are the mid-level influencers or opinion leaders, or women who are at the highest level of decision making. When they all can have a significant role, and we should support them in having more significant role in creating sustainable agreements and creating these peace agreements that actually has a chance to be implemented. And when we look at women as peace builders, then we look at the broad scope of actions that women take on as restoring their communities after violent conflict, or maintaining their communities that are struggling with development, or continuously sustaining peaceful communities so that prevention of violence or escalation of the conflicts is possible. And then women who keep peace, or women peacekeepers, who actually do participate also as crisis intervention teams, where they can also serve as a military. Unfortunately, women pay a really terrific price in the context of violence that they experience as part of a violent conflict, and also when they are in the roles of peacekeepers or peacemakers. Hence, when we think of the technology and the use of it, we should ask ourselves on what level exactly, or how, and what's the time frame, how we want to support the women, whether it's a short-term or it's a long-term work that they are doing at the moment in the peacemaking process. I'd like to give four preconditions for sustainable peace that could give you also an orientation or an idea where you would like to focus your efforts as a team, unless you have already decided your focus. So what do we know that are needed for sustainable peace? First of all, it is effective communication and consultations, as well as negotiations on different levels. So let me give you an example now. If where all our eyes and hearts and minds are looking towards the violent conflict and war that's taking place in Ukraine, and my mind and heart has been busy with contributing into stopping the violence as a way of the people's diplomacy level, and looking for the points of impact, how the request and the impact on the citizens level could be created in a more vivid way. So, for example, one thing is the negotiation table and the peace talks that take place on the level of the decision makers, such as presidents and prime ministers and official national teams. But then there is also the second level diplomacy that is taking place among the mid-level leadership. And then the people's diplomacy is when we can enhance the critical mass of the population talking to each other, reaching out to women in Russia and reaching their minds and hearts, despite the fact that there is limiting ways of accessing them because of the control of the media, but then finding ways how we can rebuild a new story of peace and empower big masses of women to speak up and speak up for peace and speak up against the war and the violence that is committed in Ukraine. So, and at the same time also use technology to reach diaspora of the people involved in the conflict, or reach people or reach women for dialogue, even in the communities like Latvia, which is also experiencing a shadow of the war, as society has very different reactions and opinions about the causes and justifications of the violence in Ukraine. So one focus is on the effective communication. The other focus is on peace-enhancing structures, democratic institutions, and means for securing justice. Second is the most important precondition for sustaining peace. And justice is not only served on this institutional level, it is also the community processes of restorative practices, of rebuilding dialogue, of sharing stories, of understanding of hearing the grievances, of healing the society. So the third aspect for sustained peace that is necessary is integrative moral political climate, where we create this idea and understanding of we-ness, where we overcome divisions of us and them. It is a reconciliation process of the past and creating of the future. So perhaps it's a time when technology could serve more for rebuilding peace, and not just rebuilding peace, but recreating and healing societies after violent conflict, or doing a much better job in process of integration in the Latvian community than in the past. And then the fourth aspect is the objective and subjective sense of security that individuals in the community or the country share that has experienced a violent conflict. And here as well, it is the stories, it's objective and subjective perceptions whether it's safe or how our safety is being threatened. Now, as you are going into your teams and forming your teams, I like to invite you really to think of helping women to not only be better at or be more supported as peacemakers, peace builders, or peacekeepers, really looking how we can contribute more into this recreating of more shared power structures, where we build more hierarchical, not more horizontal power sharing spaces. And last but not least, redistribution of resources, of knowledge, information, of abilities to create business is something that women have demonstrated to be so much more committed and effective when we are rebuilding societies from the conflict. So I hope that you will discover ways of taking these ideas from the global conflict resolution and peace building sphere and focus for women and security, and also applying them into the spaces and communities where we haven't experienced a violent conflict, but where we can prevent it. Thank you. And I invite Riga TechGirls team to continue.
Thank you, Ilze. Thank you for the lovely speech. I think from all the comments we can also read that we have there's a lot of points that everyone of us can agree to you and to both Natasha, and it's really inspiring that you're here and encouraging us to think about the problems. And that's why I think hopefully as you participants who are here and who are listening, I think you've had quite enough of inspiration in order to have enough ideas going in your heads already for the hackathon. I have a couple of myself, so I think it's quite a lot to already start thinking about. So thank you to Ilze and thank you to Natasha for the really lovely and strong and inspiring words that you've given us today, and encourage the participants to also think about these ideas and think about these problems, how you can become those who build products that are solving these problems, or at least helping at one step of the way of any of these points in solving them, or aiding them, or aiding already the existing services, as we've written in our website, that it's not just about like thinking about the whole solution. Maybe there's something that is already there but needs a bit of an aid, or needs a process that is not there. So you really do think about those kind of in-between processes as well. Thank you to the speakers, and I wanted to finish off in the next 10 minutes with some practical details for everyone, in order to understand, for you participants to understand what are the next steps, what to expect from the hackathon, and what are the key things that you should really, really know about the event, and not to miss them out. Okay, so I will share my presentation once more. Ending up with this hackathon, we have themes or tracks in the hackathon, under which we will also judge you and think about if you're applying for a specific track. We will have specific prizes for each track, as Monika as well mentioned, for the data-driven impact track, for all the other ones as well. There are 4 tracks in total. Data-driven impact, where we invite you to think about how you can use data to build products for the better of the society, and just come up with products that are built using the open data. Women's leadership and entrepreneurship, how you can help create either networks or social services, about encouraging more women to be leaders. Safe cities and safe spaces. It goes into being building and thinking about practical spaces in cities, into also thinking about safe web practices on media literacy, which is a very, very key topic nowadays. As well, access to health and social services is also one of the 4 tracks that we felt like is a really key thing. And I think Ilze also mentioned quite a lot of information and things to think about and topics to think about around these problems, and for you to think about the solutions that you would want to build. And as mentioned previously, you can always choose your own track, your own theme. You don't need to definitely stay with the tracks that we've suggested. You could just have an idea that it is outside of all of these scopes, outside of all of these topics. Could be anything, whatever theme that you wish. These are our suggestions, and we will have special prizes under each of these tracks, but overall we'll also give you prizes for the best 3 overall projects. So remember that, and be brave, be bold, just be creative, and come up with any idea that you wish you're very passionate about and wish to build. A part of that, we also have 7 lovely team mentors. So after the teams are formed, after we have set teams that are formed, each team will be assigned a specific mentor. So each team will have one mentor that they will kind of listen to, and the mentor will be there to support you throughout the hackathon. You'll be able to ask them questions about the event, and also they'll be there to check in with your progress. So the checkpoints that you see in the agenda are kind of events where the mentors get to see you at specific times that you agree upon and that are mentioned in the agenda, and check in with you to make sure that everything's going smoothly. You understand everything. What's your plan for the future? Trying to help you to move forward. And all of these mentors have been mentors in previous hackathons as well, so they know how to support you. They know what to do. Please also make sure that you are in your checkpoints as a team with your mentor, because the checkpoints are obligatory for you to participate in the event. For all teams, you need to be in checkpoints with the team mentor that will be assigned to you in a couple of hours, in the closest hour for the teams who are already there. And these are the lovely mentors. You're more than welcome to ask them also questions in the Slack channel, Ask Mentors channel in there. And obviously, we also have expert mentors that you can find in the hackathon platform. They are there as experts, and they are specified in a specific expertise, so they know a topic better, which is why you're invited to read through the mentors that are there in the mentors tab in the hackathon platform. Read about them, and please use their one-to-one sessions to book time slots with them. It's a very, very useful opportunity for you to find out more, and with the help of these expert mentors, find out more information about these key topics that you wouldn't get a chance in any other event. And this event is the key thing where you can ask these questions. You can get information and support and help out of these experts who are there to give you the more key information that will help you go with your ideas forward, and also help you to understand how to move your idea into a realistic product, and understand how to make all of this work towards the end of the hackathon. So a part of the mentors, here's today's agenda. You can also find it on our website. You can find it in the hackathon platform. We in Slack, as Riga TechGirls organizers, will constantly update you on all the things that are happening. We'll make sure that you know in the announcements channel that the checkpoint is coming. We'll make sure that you know that the virtual coffee is coming. All of these events and the workshops as well. We'll make sure that we're announcing them half an hour and also again 5 minutes before all of them. But just in case you need this information, it's always there in our website, in the platform, everywhere. And this is the key thing that you need to know. As you can see here, the checkpoints, just pressuring on the checkpoints to make sure that you know that they are obligatory. You all need to be there if you're participating as a team. Prizes. So Sunday is the day where you will submit your projects, and you will submit a 3-minute video. Each of the teams will submit a 3-minute video, and also will need to fill in a form about what you've done and what's your progress. And the video as well, you will be invited to share in your video what's your product, what's your idea, how did you come up with it, what's your team, and so on, so that we get to know you. On Sunday, we will choose also with members of the jury. We will choose the top 3 winners, who will be the winners of the overall hackathon, the top 3 places. They will not be based on any tracks. We'll just go through all of the suggestions and all of your ideas and all of the projects who have submitted at the end of the hackathon. First and second and third place winners will be announced and get money prizes, and also will additionally have special prizes from Turing College with the 2 scholarships for data analytics course to 2 participants of the hackathon. Also, special prize from Startup Wise Guys, a spot in Startup Wise Guys equity-free online pre-accelerator program. Both of these will also be marked based on what do we feel like are the ideas that are most likely to go forwards. And additionally, thanks to the support of Principa, we'll also have Riga TechGirls merch for the winners of these tracks as well. Moving on from the prizes, key things to get out from this technical presentation. So the key thing, make sure that you're on Slack. If you are participating in the hackathon, you need to be in Slack. Make sure that you're there. You have a profile. You're communicating with everyone. You have a team channel. If you are a part of a team and have already formed a team, then you need to have a team channel and be in Slack. Just make sure that you're there. In case you don't have an invitation to Slack, or you cannot find it, or you cannot get in, please reach out to us in whatever channel you can find us, including if you message us on Facebook, message us to our email, hackathon@rigatechgirls.com. If you can find us in anywhere, me and info Riga Tech Girls, message us on there. We'll make sure that you get on Slack, but that is the most important thing, because all the announcements, all the information, everything you need to know will happen through there. So if you're not there, you're kind of not participating. So please make sure that you're in Slack. Additionally, second thing you need to take away, sign up to expert mentors who are there specifically to help you in the hackathon with their specific professional experience. So take advantage of them, because it's kind of like one of the rare times where you will get a chance to speak to them one-on-one and pick their brains about your problem and your solution, and maybe also get to know them and establish new connections with them, which is also very, very useful. So if there's someone you can see from the mentors tab that you feel like you really want one-on-one session, make sure that you book them. It's a really great chance to get to meet those experts. Check the agenda and attend checkpoints. So the hackathon agenda can be found on our website and on the platform. So make sure that you see it on the platform. Make sure that you can, or in the website, check it out and make sure that you don't miss your checkpoints. Fourth point, whenever you're in doubt, in the announcements channel, we'll also share the link to this. We have a hackathon guidelines. So all the information that you as a participant need to know when you're participating, all the times, what is a mentor, what is an expert mentor, what is a checkpoint, what do you need to submit, how do you need to submit it, what are you going to be marked on, and so on. All of these key information that I'm sharing with you in the presentation, everything is written in our hackathon guidelines. So if you're really interested in this, or in case you have any questions, you cannot find something, guidelines is the place to go. If you cannot find there, or maybe if it's just easier, always ask us in the Ask Organizers channel about anything that is not clear to you. I can see that you're already doing that, which is absolutely great that you've got the idea. So please make sure you do that. Okay, so Slack, use expert mentors, attend checkpoints, and check any key information that you need in the guidelines. And the last things last, already now will be the end of the last team formation. So in case you are a participant in here and you haven't found a team yet, please firstly make sure that you check the teams that are already there. We have 10 absolutely wonderful and interesting teams. I heard them pitch yesterday, so I really know this. I'm not just talking about saying it politely. I've heard the ideas and I've seen the ideas, so check the ideas out. If you're a participant, sign up to the ideas, try and find the team members in Slack, message them and tell them that you want to be a part of them. In case you still want to form a team and you have the very last minutes that we might allow you to still participate, if you quickly want to form a team with your friends and jump into the hack and be a part of it. In case you are a participant at this point where you don't have any teams, but you would want to be with some and are a bit too shy maybe, or cannot find anything, message me, Līna, on Slack. You can find me doing the announcements, or message Pauls on Slack, or message Santa on Slack. You can see all of us with the name, the slash that says org, or Riga TechGirls or organizer, basically. So find the people who have that /org next to their name and message them and message us saying that, hey, I want to participate. I don't have a team. can you please help me find a team? And we'll help you out. So in case that is the last point, you still don't have a team but would love to participate, message us and we'll try and help you as much as we can. Okay, so all in all, that's the key information that we wanted to share with you. And as a last thing, I also obviously, before we move on, wanted to thank our wonderful partners, without of whom this hackathon wouldn't happen. So thank you to Tech Hub and Riga's Dom who have supported us. Printify for supporting us, and we have also mentors from you in the hackathon, which is lovely to see. Accenture, also Marija who spoke today. Turing Collage for speaking out and also suggesting our lovely mentor Antons, who's also going to be there and be assigned to one of you teams out there. Thank you to the partners, and thank you for supporting this event third year in a row, that we can organize it in a third year in a row. Okay, so without further ado, it's 7, so we need to start hacking. So good luck, teams. In case you have any questions, as mentioned, use our tools, use our resources. Message us if it's unclear. Message us if you don't have a team or something's missing, or you really want to participate and don't have a team. Take the key information out. See us in announcements, or see us in the checkpoints, actually, as well. The checkpoints will happen through Zoom. And let's start hacking. So good luck to you all. And hopefully, I will see you all already this evening in the first checkpoints, as we will share our Zoom links in there, and we as organizers will also see you there, because we will assign you to your team mentors, and we'll be happy to kind of nudge you into your team's rooms. Okay, so thank you, everyone, and hoping for a really awesome and inspiring and supportive weekend of hacking. Thank you.